Кто там? Письмецом. Вам почта, Пуаро? Мистер Эркюль Пуаро. Не правда ли вы воображаете себе, будто разгадываете тайны, слишком сложные для нашей тупорылой британской полиции? Что ж, поглядим, мистер умник Пуаро, какой вы умный. Возможно, этот орешек окажется вам не по зубам. 21 числа этого месяца обратите внимание на Андовер. Ваши ИТД ABC. Это какой-то розыгрыш? Возможно, но напомните мне, пожалуйста, рассказать об этом старшему инспектору Джепу. — 21 числа пришел. Это он? А Пуаро немного пополнил, так? Поднабрал весу. Но Пуаро, убийство произошло на этой улице. Мрачноватое место. Именно так, Гастингс. И улица Андовера в ужасном состоянии. Смотрите, старший инспектор Джеб. Он разговаривает с полисменом. Давайте попробуем пройти, не промочив туфли. В разделе дополнительно находится 50 наград, с ума сойти. Сюда. Это Гастингс и Пуаро. Вы опоздали на 9-часовой поезд. Мы выехали в 10:30. К счастью, из Андовера поезда ходят часто. Итак, старший инспектор, что вырисовывается? Жертву звали Алиса Ашера. Она владела табачной лавкой. Вчера она была убита ударом по затылку. Во сколько? Позвольте взглянуть. Наблюдайте за людьми, если они заняты. Таким образом можно получить подсказки об их настроении. Три подсказки, соответствующие замечанию Эркюля. Джеб слишком расслабился. Нужно найти этому доказательства. Шляпа, гордо скошенная на затылок. Легкая улыбка. Расслабленная. Поведение. Джеб в хорошем настроении. Держу пари, он уже радуется поимке преступника. Последний покупатель, который застал миссис Ашер живой, вышел из лавки в 17:30. Тело нашел патрульный офицер около 23:00. Дверь лавки была открыта. Это его и насторожило. Что-нибудь украдено? Может, немного табака, но ради сигареты не убивает. Никаких ценностей в лавке нет. Какой бывает там миссис Ашер? 6-й десяток. Замужем, но с мужем не жила. Детей нет. А что муж? Ага, Франц Ашер, муж, агрессивный пьяница. Написано, что он регулярно оскорблял жену, грозился ей убить. Не думайте, что это слишком просто. Опять хотите все усложнять? Вот в этот раз, похоже, вам придется смириться. Позвольте, я осмотрю место преступления. Конечно. Я сейчас подойду, Пуаро. А на улице мы все сделали, ничего не забыли. Из-за овощной лавки прекрасно видно место преступления, значит, продавец мог что-нибудь заметить. Тут все разваливается. Пустые магазины в аренду. Мусор. Это очень опасный район. Здесь кто угодно мог совершить преступление. Блин, ну я в уже вступил, ну ее выпало. А это что? Ага, задачи. Записная книжка. И маленькие серые клеточки, я понял. Удерживайте. Красная жидкость. Это кровь. Да, навряд ли. Ой, я вышел. Нет, просто клубника, которая пустила сок. Должно быть куплено в соседнем магазине овощей. Это не просто железнодорожный справочник. Это ABC. Подожди, я, по-моему, в такой книге он как раз что-то я вводил. Разве нет? Он открыт на букве А. А книги нет отпечатков пальцев. Не, ну понятное дело. На прилавке огромное количество отпечатков пальцев. К сожалению, использовать их невозможно. Поехали. Рядом с ее рукой пачка сигарет Плейс. Уронила, когда упала.
She just has one wound on the back of the head. There are no other wounds or... The body is hidden by the counter and is not visible from the tobacco shop store. Many customers might have thought that Mrs. Asher had popped out. I can't see any other mark on the floor. This poor woman's head is resting in a very even-shaped pool of blood. There are cigarettes packets in a mess on the shelf. The till does not appear to have been touched. Ah, a mechanism has just made a fan click. The till is full of money, but there is something strange. This must be the key to the back of the shop. There are cigarettes packed. There are cigarettes packed. The place is unusually tidy for a crime scene. Nothing suggests any sign of a fight.
So, Poirot, any news?
So, an ABC guide with no fingerprints but prints all over the counter.
Normally, the tobacco shop does not sell ABC guides.
Exact. Mon ami, could you have a word with the neighbors? Some may have seen something.
Of course, my friend, I'll do it straight away.
The motive is definitely not financial gain. There is no sign of a struggle, and the till has not been forced or emptied. murderer deliberately left behind this ABC as a signature. The absence of fingerprints and the fact that it is open at letter A for Andover leaves little doubt. Mrs. Asher was killed here. The absence of marks in the shop and the regular shape of the blood stains indicated beyond a doubt. The door is locked. An inscription in German. Souvenir of our honeymoon in the Black Forest. To my Alice forever, Franz Asher. The ashes were a lovely... Blood. Did Alice Asher suffer from nosebleeds? Such a pretty decoration should be at the center of the motif to respect the symmetry. I heard a faint sound. It is blocked. It is blocked. It is blocked. What a strange box. It looks like you have to slide the slats of wood to open it. This button appears to activate the mechanism. It is blocked. That should do it. Who is this young woman? To my dear Aunt Alice, married Hauer.
Have you found anything?
The victim has a niece. We must find her. Such a pretty decoration should be at the center of the... Such a pretty decoration. Such a pretty decoration should be at the center of the motif to respect the symmetry. I heard a faint sound as if something was unlocked. These drawings appear. These drawings appear to be at... Medicine. Laudanum-based cough medicine, Mrs. Asher, and Dover Morley Laboratory, London. It's strange to find such an elaborate medicine from a leading London laboratory in the home of such a modest woman. From Mr. Adam Flint, Royal Bank, Eastfield Road, Andover. To Mrs. Alice Asher, 5 Bishops Road, Andover. Dear Mrs. Asher, further to your request of 12 February 1935, I have informed my superiors of your wish to apply for a loan to acquire the lease of the shop you rent from Mr. Fairfax. Despite the seriousness of your case, I regret to inform you that your request has been denied. The amount of your personal contribution, £11, is not high enough and represents too small a part of the final transaction. I remain at your disposal for any questions. Adam Flint. Mrs. Asher's meager savings were not enough for her to own the tobacco shop, but will largely cover her funeral costs. I think I've looked everywhere here. Let us see if I can find any more information in the shop's surroundings. This interior is very simple. Mrs. Asher lived very simply.
£4 a lettuce, a lovely large lettuce, £4 only.
This woman appears to be a smoker. She's a big smoker. She must have been a customer at the tobacco shop. A bottle of poor quality vinegar. The smell could awaken the dead. How much are your lettuce, please?
A lettuce? That'll be 5 pence, kind sir.
5 pence?
That's right. Maybe so slightly hard of hearing.
I heard you shouting, a lovely large lettuce, 4 pence only, earlier.
Did I? Well, I must have been mistaken. Begging your pardon. But if I said 4, it's 4. Why not take 2 for 8?
No, thank you. I was only asking. Did you know Alice Asher well?
And for starters, who are you?
I'm Hercule Poirot, the detective.
You're foreign, that's for sure, with your accent and your odd way about you. And you're here about Alice's murder, I suppose. Well, I've nothing to say to you.
Did you speak to the victim yesterday?
No, I never saw her.
I do not quite understand. You work next door to each other, but you do not see each other?
It's true. I didn't see her all day.
I know that you went to the tobacco shop yesterday.
Well?
So you killed Mrs. Asher with a blow to the head.
No!
You asked for a packet of plays. She turned around to take it from the shelf and you hit her. One blow.
Listen, I didn't kill Alice, I swear. But it's true that I did go to the shop yesterday.
At what time?
6 o'clock. She left me a note saying she wanted some strawberries if I got some. I received them late, about 6. So I took them over to her.
But you did not see her.
She wasn't in the shop, so I just put the strawberries on the counter and left.
Did you see anything unusual in the shop?
No. Well, maybe one thing. There was always a railway guide on the counter. Alice didn't sell them. Maybe it's the customer who left it there.
You were not alarmed?
I thought Alice had just gone to get her medicine from her room and that she'd be straight back.
You mentioned medicine.
Something for her cough. She used to take it a lot.
Who do you think killed her?
France. Her scoundrel of a husband. He was always after her for something. Well, he's a foreigner. Sorry, sir. What I mean is he's German. That's even worse.
Did you see Franz Asher enter the tobacco shop late yesterday afternoon?
Well, no. But at that time of the day, the streets are packed, and I have better things to do than watch her shop.
Hey, Poirot. I found the victim's niece. She's waiting for you in the back of the shop, if you want to question her.
Thank you, mon ami. Jap had the body removed out of respect for the victim's niece. His attention is commendable. Is her grief sincere? She appears to be very upset. She's dressed in mourning. She looks fragile. Stop crying, please. It is very annoying.
You don't understand. My aunt was the only family I had.
If you are her only relative, you will be the only one who inherits.
Sir, my aunt was poor. And in any case, I'm not interested in any legacy.
Yes, that is what everyone says. Hastings, please see this young lady home. I fear that it's quite impossible to finish our interview at present.
Poirot, what have you done? I've never known you be so brutal.
We have to wait for him to sleep it off. He's all yours, Poirot. There are a few things I need to check.
There must be some way of sobering him up.
I wonder what his wife used to do. He must have scared the customers away.
It's Alice Asher's notebook. Ah. Bodley. The fruit seller has debts too. She will probably be more cooperative thanks to this piece of information. A box of new stockings. According to the victim's account book, you owed her £10 for tobacco and magazines.
That's a lie. She owed me £1. I swear.
Enough lies.
It's not lies. But you're not quite as clever as what you think.
Now, please be so kind as to explain this.
Look at my account book. Alice owed me £11 for fruit and vegetables. I may have had a slate at her shop, but she had one at mine. She owed me £1. And that reminds me I have to get it back from her niece.
That is quite enough. Your account book has saved you. But I might ask Chief Inspector Japp to throw you in the cells for 1 or 2 nights while he checks your entries. Do you want to go to prison?
Prison? Now that's not fair. I haven't done nothing.
In that case, I am counting on your full collaboration.
Yes, sir. Of course, sir.
I'll just borrow your bottle a moment.
Take it. It's what Alice used to sober up her husband. But try not to empty the bottle.
Let us now try and get our brain cells to work. The murderer probably pretended to be a customer. He hit the shopkeeper from behind as she turned around to serve him. Mes amis, I can say without a doubt that poor Mrs. Asher was killed between 5:30 and 6.
Killed when the street was packed with people. That's rather bold.
I've been talking to the neighbours and...
No one's seen anything? Or rather, it's anything and everything. Am I wrong? Yeah, we must grill this village. This man is in rather a bad state. This man has been fighting and he smells of alcohol. We know that you threatened to kill your wife, Asher.
So what? You shouldn't take things so seriously, sir. Nothing but empty threats. We didn't get on all that badly.
So, if things were going so well with your wife, why did you not live with her?
She was the one that left. Nothing to do with me, sir.
You can't have treated her very well for her to run away.
No, sir, no. I wouldn't say I'd ever laid a finger on her, but it was only normal. She was my wife.
Are you often involved in fights?
I don't know what you mean.
The truth is that someone gave you a good beating.
A beating? No way. All right, he tore my coat and gave me a black eye. You see the state of him?
Very interesting. Who is the other that you struck?
Probably best if I tell you everything. Yesterday afternoon, I met Roderick Tanner. We'd bet on a dog fight together.
An illegal bet, naturally.
Yes, sir. Our dog won. Roderick got the money, but he refused to give me my share.
And you fought about it. What time was this?
In the evening, about 6, I think. We were on the other side of town. You see, I couldn't have killed my wife.
Asher's alibi appears to be confirmed. All the same, I'm going to call and check that he did have a fight with this Tanner on the afternoon of the murder. You can never trust this sort of chap.
One thing is certain, Asher was a ruffian who used to beat his wife.
But he is not very educated. It certainly was not him who wrote the letter signed ABC. Let's resume, Hastings. We know the murderer pretended to be a customer. He did not kill her for money, that appears to be certain.
I agree with you on that point.
And the murderer left an ABC guide as a signature. Therefore, it's likely he wrote the letter.
Indeed, but that doesn't explain why and how he did it.
You are quite right. Why he did it is a mystery. But as for how he did it, we do know enough to try and reconstruct the events. The killer enters the shop. Mrs. Asher turns around to greet her customer. The murderer asks her for some tobacco. She turns her back to him. He seizes the opportunity to strike her. He then places the ABC upside down before leaving. Everything appears to match the crime scene, mon cher Hastings. That is exactly what happened.
Asher has a strong alibi and we don't have any other suspect. But what was the point of this crime?
She had no debts. She gave Franz Asher money regularly. She wasn't owed money. Nobody stood to gain anything.
No doubt about it, the murderer is insane.
And I fear that we had not heard the last of him.
I hope you're wrong for once.
Bien, let's go back to London. If we hurry, we should catch the 7:02 train. Are you coming?
No, unfortunately, I have to talk with Andover police.
See you soon, then. Are you coming, Hastings? Let's go home. There's nothing for us here.
Well, do you have any idea about the killer's identity?
The crime was committed by a man of medium height, with red hair and suspicious eyes. He has a slight limp on the right foot and a wart just below his shoulder blade.
Poirot!
Mon ami, what do you want? You fix upon me a look of dog-like devotion and demand of me a pronouncement à la Sherlock Holmes. Now for the truth. I do not know what the murderer looks like, nor where he lives, nor how to set hands upon him.
What shall we do then?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Do not be so impatient, Hastings. The killer will manifest himself soon enough.
I thought I heard the postman. Maybe there's some news.
I will go and see.